and welcome to Colorful Colorado. Today's yoga class is focused on back and hip mobility. This is a 20-minute beginner level yoga class. Let's begin. Start in a comfortable seated position. Take a few deep breaths. Begin to slowly roll your neck to the left. Now switch and roll to the right. Come to the center and arch your back and look up towards the sky. Now round forward, nose towards your belly button. Continue this seated cat-cow exercise at your own pace, arching and looking up, and rounding and looking forward. Come to a standing position at the top of your mat. Inhale the arms overhead. Exhale, fold forward. Place your hands on the shins, come up for a halfway lift, keeping the back as flat as possible. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, raise all the way up, hands towards the sky. And exhale, fold forward, hands to the shins. Halfway lift, flat back. And exhale forward. And again, inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, fold forward, placing your hands on the shins. Come up for a halfway lift, keeping the back as flat as possible. Exhale, fold forward. Now fold forward in a ragdoll pose. Bend your knees enough so that your chest touches the thighs. Grab your opposite elbows and let your head hang. Sway back and forth if that feels good for you. Return to a halfway lift. Fold forward. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, hands coming back down to the mat. Right leg back, left leg back, raise your hips toward the sky and settle into your first downward facing dog. Straighten your arms and let your chest reach towards your thighs. Come to a plank, lower to a chaturanga by bending the elbows close to the body and lowering yourself to the mat. Roll through for upward facing dog, keeping the shoulders away from the ears and your core engaged. Now push back to downward facing dog. Bring your right foot forward, settle into a deep runner's lunge. Bring the left foot forward, raise all the way up, and exhale all the way down. Inhale for a halfway lift, placing the hands down and returning to your downward facing dog. Come to plank. Chaturanga down, upward facing dog, and pushed back to downward facing dog. Left foot comes forward, settle into a deep runner's lunge. Bring the right foot forward. Raise all the way up, and exhale all the way down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, placing your hands down, back to plank, chaturanga, upward facing dog, and push back to downward facing dog. Now let's do it again, but a little faster. So step or hop to the front of your mat. Inhale, arms all the way up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plank. Move the feet back for chaturanga. Upward facing dog. Exhale to your downward facing dog. And let's do it again. Step or hop to the front of your mat. Inhale your arms all the way up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale. Back to plank. Chaturanga. upward facing dog, downward facing dog. And from here, come into child's pose. So knees will be as wide as the mat, feet together, fold forward and stretch your arms forward and laying your forehead on the mat. Take a few deep breaths here. Slowly start to return to downward facing dog. Bring your right leg up as high as you can while keeping your hips level. Swing that leg forward between your hands and come up to warrior one. Hips are forward, your back foot comes out to 45 degrees and your arms come up overhead, making sure not to shrug your shoulders. Transition to warrior two. Your hips open to the side, back foot opens to 90 degrees and arms are level. The right reaching over the bent leg and the left over the straight leg. From here, bend your right elbow, place it on your knee, and extend your left overhead for an extended side angle. Now reverse warrior, swing your arms overhead. The left hand will rest on the thigh or elbow, and the knee, depending on your flexibility, and the right will extend overhead for a great side stretch. Come back to warrior two, cartwheel your hands down to the mat, shoot the right leg back to plank, chaturanga, upward facing dog, downward facing dog. Let's repeat this on the left. Bring your left leg up as high as you can while the hips are level. Swing the leg forward between your legs and come up to warrior one. Hips are forward, back foot comes to 45 degrees and arms are overhead, making sure not to shrug your shoulders. Transition into warrior two. Open your hips to the side, your back foot opens to 90 degrees and the arms are level. The left reaching over the bent leg and the right reaching over the straight. From here, bend your left elbow and place it on your knee. Extend the right overhead for an extended side angle. Now reverse that warrior and bring the right hand to rest on your thigh or below the knee, depending on your flexibility, and the left will extend overhead for a great side stretch. Come back to warrior two, cartwheel the hands down to the mat. Shoot the left leg back to plank, chaturanga. Upward facing dog, downward facing dog. Return to child's pose and deep breaths here. Start to return to downward facing dog. Bring the right foot up again as high as you can with level hips. Swing the left leg through and stand up. We're going to start doing some hip and back mobility here. So slightly bend your knees and start to move your hips forward and back in a rocking motion. I know this looks funny, but it's a great movement for the lower back. Now turn to face me, toes go out 45 degrees, and rock your hips side to side. It's a fun little dance here. Now turn to your right and sway your hips forward to back, forward to back, forward to back. Return to face me in the middle. Your feet are at a 45-degree angle, hands to heart center, straight back, and slowly sumo squat as far as you can, slowly rocking side to side. When you've had enough of this torture, go ahead and come to a seated position with your legs out in front. Now take your right leg and cross it over to your left. Your right hand goes behind your back on the floor for stability. Left hand goes up and over the leg. Twist and look to the right. Breathe into this stretch. Now for the other side. Take your left leg, cross it over the right. Left hand goes behind on the floor for stability. Right hand goes up and over the leg. Twist and look to the left. breathe into this stretch. Untwist and bring the bottom of your feet together to form a diamond shape. Fold forward, relax, and breathe. Slowly come up and lay down on the mat. Lift your left leg up and bring it close to your chest, holding behind the leg at the hamstring. Straighten your leg as much as possible, or as much that feels good for you. Now bend at the knee, relax the leg and pull that knee close into your chest. Breathe here. Now switch your grip to the front of the knee for the upper shin area and pull that leg open to the left like you're trying to get your shoulder and your leg to meet. Relax and breathe. With your right hand, grab the outside of the left knee and bring it across your body for a twist. Leave your shoulders on the ground. Look the opposite way, relax, and breathe. Go ahead and untwist, and let's repeat this with the right leg. So lift your right leg up. Bring it close to your chest. Holding behind the leg at the hamstring, straighten your leg as much as feels good for you. Now bend at the knee, relax and pull the leg in close. Breathe. Switch your grip to the front of the knee at the upper shin area and pull that leg open to the right like you're trying to get your shoulder and your leg to meet. Relax and breathe here. With your left hand, grab outside of the right knee and bring it across your body for a twist. Leave your shoulders on the ground, look the opposite way, relax, and breathe. Slowly come up to a seated position to transition into pigeon pose. Bring your right leg forward and bend that knee at 90 degrees and shoot your left leg straight behind. If this isn't available for you, you can always grab a block or a cushion and place it under your butt. Take a nice inhale and a slight back bend, and then fold forward to wherever is comfortable for you and relax. Sink in and breathe here. Come out of the pose and into a downward dog to switch legs. Now bring your left leg forward, bent 90 degrees. Shoot your right leg back behind. Adjust your block or cushion if you used one. Take a nice inhale and have a slight back bend, and then fold forward to wherever is comfortable for you to relax. Sink in and breathe. Slowly come out of this pose and just face me, leaving your right arm on the mat and stacking your legs one another toward the left like a mermaid. Engage your core and enjoy this deep side bend. Depending on your flexibility, you may stay on your elbow or possibly extend your arm. Breathe into this deep side and oblique stretch. You'll probably have to engage your core a bit to stay balanced. Relax from this stretch and face the mat for Cobra. Engage your upper back and slowly lift the body off the mat, bringing the shoulder blades together. Hands are under the shoulders for support, but remember the strength from this pose comes from the back. Hips stay on the ground, and this is a great pose for improving posture. Now turn away from me. Leave your left arm on the mat and stack your legs on top of one another towards the right like a mermaid. Engage your core and enjoy the deep side bend. Depending on your flexibility, stay on your elbow or extend your arm. Breathe into this deep side and oblique stretch. Relax from this stretch and face the mat again for Cobra. Engage the upper back and slowly lift the upper body off the mat, bringing the shoulder blades together. Hands are under the shoulders for support, but remember the strength comes from the back in this pose. Do a quick puppy pose by leaving the hips in the air. And from here, go ahead and start to place your right leg on the ground, bent at the knee. And this is going to be in front of you for more of a cross-legged pose. The other leg is going to stack on top of your right so that the shins are parallel and the ankle is on top of the right knee, stacked like fire logs. This pose is intense, so ease into it. Don't force the other knee down. The rotation comes from the hip and not the knee here. Sit with this pose and relax into it. You can always use a blanket or a block under the knee for support. Now switch and place the left leg on top. You'll notice that one side is likely tighter than the other, and it can vary by days and activities. For me, this is my tight side. So relax and breathe. From here, put the soles of your feet together, making a diamond shape with your legs, and fold forward and relax. Slowly sit up and lay on your back for our final resting pose. You can lay however is comfortable for you. I'm choosing to leave the soles of my feet together. Lay back, close your eyes, and let your body relax. If you have time today, stay longer in this resting pose. If you only have 20 minutes for practice, then start to open your eyes, wiggle your toes and fingers, and come to a seated position in whatever way feels good for you. Thank you so much for practicing with me and sharing this beautiful view. Blue skies, my friends.